We're counting down to the first day of school for kids right here in New York City.
Coming right up this morning, there's some relief for parents after Mayor Eric Adams announced his administration has offered 3K seats to every family who applied on time. Joining us now with more from Gracie Mansion on the Upper East Side, Mayor Eric Adams and Deputy Mayor Anna Almanzar working hard with us this Labor Day weekend. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Mayor, this is a big deal. Can you promise that every parent who has applied will now get a seat? Is that a promise you can make now?
Well, that was a promise I made from the start, that we will ensure that every parent that desired a seat for their children would have access to a seat. And so there was a filing period where there was a substantial number of parents who filed. In the first round, we saw we were able to do that for 94% of the parents. That was never done before. But we drilled in, and I handed it over to the deputy mayor, who put a team together so that we can reach 100%. And that's what she accomplished. And I cannot say enough about her and her team. And we knew how challenging it was. But as always, we know we could get it done if we stay focused.
And Deputy Mayor, I want to ask you, obviously all this came together a little late here. We heard from the New Yorkers United for Childcare. They put a statement out, and they said that there are some parents who still haven't received that outreach, some who say they still haven't gotten the school that they wanted, it wasn't in their top 10, and others who say that they had to put money down for a daycare and that it's sort of a little too late for them. What's your message to them this morning?
What we continue to work is that the message that we sent yesterday and continue to send throughout the entire month about the work now being done. We still have a lot to do, but as the mayor mentioned, 94% of those who apply on time received an offer. That is 42,000 applicants and families throughout the city that were able to get an offer. And or those who didn't apply on time, who didn't submit their application by the deadline, we increased that offer by 8,000. So 51,000 families got an offer for this school year. That is had never done before. This is an administration under the Adams administration that has expanded early childhood education throughout the entire city. We encourage those families to continue monitoring their account on My City and New York City Public Schools to make sure that they can look into the system, and as families accept and reject offers throughout the system, they can engage in those wait lists and be able to then get an offer throughout these coming weeks.
Well, staying with schools, Mayor Adams, let's talk about the cell phone ban. You admit that cell phones are distracting. Parents know that cell phones are distracting. Studies show that cell phones are distracting. What happened with implementing it this school year?
Well, let me tell you what else is a distraction. When you implement it and it fails, and then you have to come back again over and over again. We saw that under previous administrations where bans were implemented just to have to go back and change it. I want to get it right. We will eventually have a system where cell phones won't be in schools, but I want the inclusive thoughts of parents, children, educators. We want to sit down, see how to roll it out, come up with the inner workings of implementation. Many people believe a great idea is fine to say, but implement it in a school system with 1 million children, and their feedback is so important to me. We already have schools that have bans in place. We're looking at what they're doing to see what works and what we could do to make it better.
Mayor Adams, let's talk about the MTA cracking down on fare evaders. You're now writing tickets. You have this Eagle team that's out. Now, tickets are anywhere between $50 and $100, and we're talking for evading the fare for $2.90. A lot of folks would say the city is trying to make up for lost wages on the backs of already disadvantaged, hardworking New Yorkers. What do you say to those folks? It's a lot of money.
Well, you know, first of all, we have a lot of New Yorkers who are swiping their Metro cards and saying, why aren't we doing something about those who are evading their fares? And let me tell you what else we find. We find that many people who do the evasion, they have a great amount of money in their pockets. They just choose not to pay. It's unfair to New Yorkers when you increase the fare because 50% of people on our buses are not paying. That comes out of the pockets of hardworking New Yorkers. Those are the individuals that I want to respond to, who have reached out to me when I'm on the buses or walking the street and saying, Eric, it is just wrong that I'm paying and swiping my Metro card, and we have individuals that just want to just walk past the bus driver. and just disobey the rules. That is not the city we're going to live in.
Mr. Mayor, are those people who do you think can't afford it, or do you think they're just disregarding the rules? Because if they can't afford it and then they're being hit with this ticket, that seems like it sort of goes against what you would want here.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. So here's what we need to look at. Number one, we put in place a real process of reduced fare Metro cars to go after those low-income New Yorkers. Number two, there's a process if you cannot afford to pay your fare. There's a process you can go through to get the free ride for the moment. But if we start the process of normalizing not paying your fare, then it gets from 50% to 100%. Now we have a real problem. And it costs money to run these systems.
Some people have said that some of that fare evasion issues, that's the quality of life issues, where even though the NYPD and I know yourself have said that numbers are down when it comes to crime, that the appearance of it still seems to be that there are these issues all throughout the city. We know that your administration has taken steps now to try and address some of the issues, specifically in Central Park, where we have seen numbers that are on the rise, but yet just overnight, we saw that there were 3 young people who robbed a woman of their cell phone, and video was put out by the department. What's being done now to address some of those issues in the park?
Well, let's be clear. We have 8.3 New Yorkers. And when you do an analysis of big cities across America, the bar graph shows that this is the safest big city in America. Robberies on our subway system is the lowest in recorded history. We see a double-digit decrease in homicides and shootings. All the things I focused on when I ran for mayor, this continues to be the safest big city in America. Are we going to have crimes in our city? I would be foolish to think that we're not. But can we apprehend the persons? What we have been doing, bring them to justice and make sure the city continues to be safe.
Did it take too long to get to that point? Did it take too long to start to move forward with stepping up some of these sides of it, stepping up some of this enforcement in the area if the numbers were already trending in one direction?
Well, we did it in the subway system. Look what happened in the month of January. We saw a slight increase in crime in our subway system. We surged our police officers there, and we were witnessing 7 straight months of decrease in crimes in the subway system, and overall crime is down in the city. These police officers with a smaller police force and dealing with almost 3,000 protests in the city and other ways of keeping the city safe. I must take my hat off to these men and women who are police officers because they are responding and dealing with the repeated offenders. When you think about 342 people that were arrested for shoplifting and other crimes have been arrested over 7,600 times in our city. We're doing our job. The rest of the criminal justice apparatus must do their job.
Mayor Adams, let's stay with our quality of life issues because 125th and Lexington, we know that you all launched the Operation Four Corners to improve the quality of life issues in that area. And Mayor, I'll be completely honest with you, that area is still in desperate need of attention. You're walking past half-naked people who are overdosed on the street, not to mention needles. Folks work hard in that area, and most times they're just trying to get to work with their kids. Is there anything else that can be done to try to combat some of that?
Cross-section, and you're right. I spend a lot of time on 125th Street. Late at night, I'm at 125th Street and Lexington Avenue. I walk on Park Avenue and 125th Street. You see the overdose. We have to operate within the confines of the law that it allows us to do. If someone wants to walk the streets with no shirts on, we try to engage them and talk them inside. If someone is dealing with severe mental health illness, we attempt to engage them and take them inside. The law does not allow us to go outside of that. Remember when I wanted to do involuntary removal, remember the outcry that I saw from a large number of people that said it was inhumane. I know it's inhumane to allow people to stay in the street in that manner, and we need Albany to help us strengthen these laws, and trust me, we can go after those that need involuntary removal to give them the concern they deserve.
Mayor Adams, we gotta go, but we know that, if I can reclaim my time, we know that you recently burned 4 tons of illegal weed. I gotta ask you, did you catch a contact?
No, the filtering system there prevents it from going outside. 1,000 shops were closed.
Mayor, we know that one other headline, Prince Harry is coming back to town. I know you remember the last time he was here. Have you instructed the NYPD to give him any extra security or to keep an eye on him while he's here?
Well, when we have any high-profile visitor, we extend the right courtesy. Remember, we got the UN General Assembly coming, so this is going to stretch our manpower, but we're going to get the job done.
Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. Good luck with the new 3K program as well.
And enjoy your Labor Day
And
weekend.
Deputy Mayor as well.
Thank you.